Hi there again. I wanted to give you a fava bean update. If you have not been following my fava bean saga, it's not really a saga. Basically, I'm here in Central Virginia, for those of you who don't follow me, and I decided that this year I would try fava beans, which I love and which are kind of hard to find in markets and things. So I was reading, and my favorite seed company that I depend on for this region is Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. I'm not affiliated at all. I'm just a little guy. And they had fava beans. And so I went ahead and ordered some over in my winter order, and I planted some indoors and I planted some outdoors directly. I guess it was probably late February, early March, to see if I could get them to grow and produce. Now, in this region, we're right on the margin. Some people say plant them in the spring for a later early summer harvest. Others say, no, it's better in this region to plant them in the fall, let them overwinter, and then they'll come back to life in the spring and give you a good spring harvest. And so I'm doing both this year, and I'm just harvesting what I can and seeing which one works better for me. So I planted, let me show you what we've got so far. The results, I would say, are mixed. I got some fava beans, but not so far as many as I would like. Here are my fava beans, and you can see that there are still some that are getting ready to bloom. Now, I did get some bean set on some of my earlier ones, and I picked them yesterday and I had them, and I can see that I've got beans coming along down here on this plant, and here's another one. Here's a fava over here, and another here. They're not quite ready. They have to get bigger and plumpier. And here's some coming up right here. This plant looks like it's got a bean set here. Now, I did harvest these plants once already yesterday. On these plants, it looks like I've harvested some, but I'm like looking at these beans and thinking, I don't think you're gonna set. Here's one. Here, oh look, 1 and 2, and here's one that down here that looks like it's setting, and also here. So what is going on with these plants? Now, these particular plants right here in this area are the ones that I direct sowed at the same time that I sowed some indoors. These plants are the ones that were sowed indoors, and they definitely sprouted earlier, and I planted them out. Look, there's a big ant crawling up that one. You see? They have had ants on them, which tell me maybe it's been an aphid issue. But on this side, I have not had the fruit set, the bean set, that the ones planted directly outside have had. To me, it's really interesting that the beans that I planted directly outdoors but took much longer to sprout actually caught up in growth with the ones that I started inside. And the difference so far has been that the ones planted outside had a better production of beans. That said, I have not had the bean set that I would like to see in these fava beans. Far too many of the blossoms did not actually go ahead and set bean. Okay, so what are some reasons possibly for that? Maybe some of you who are my viewers will know more than me, and I'm learning this, and I'm just sort of sharing what I'm learning as I go. I am not an expert at all. So I'm thinking that maybe one of the factors is we had a very nice normal spring, and then in mid-April, as these beans were blooming, it got super hot. I mean, summer heat came in, 90 degrees, 88 degrees, and I think that was just really super bad timing for these bean plants. Because I think that they want to be cooler, and I think that the optimum time and temperature for them to produce is a cooler, much more moderate springtime temperature. In May, our temperatures came back to more normal temperatures, and actually now, as you can see, I'm in a polar fleece. It is May 23rd, and it's chilly today. It has not gone out of the 60s, and we are going to have a night down to 51. I think my fava beans are going to like that more, but I'm thinking that we've missed the window for optimum production. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to obviously let these beans do their thing for this season. Once I've harvested all that I can harvest it, I'll pull these beans, or at least I'll cut them off, and I'll plant something else there. And then I will plant fava beans in a variety of places, again, around my gardens, to see which location is best for them, what do they like. Because believe it or not, even in a garden my size, there are microclimates. There are some parts of my garden that are cooler and down just a little bit of a slope, and that little bit of a slope can make a big difference in terms of temperature and frost and all those things. Long way to say, I don't know what's going to happen. To recap, fava beans are planted in February, some indoors, some outdoors. Indoors sprouted faster, outdoors sprouted more sporadically and slower, but caught up in growth. Outdoor plants, interestingly, grew and met the size of the indoor plants fairly quickly and produced more beans for me here in Central Virginia in the springtime. So we shall see what becomes of these beans. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening, and let me know your experience and your expertise with growing favas. They are fabulous, and the ones I had, I made them with a beet and feta salad, beets, roasted beets, beet greens, sauteed. We put the feta and I'm gonna go pick some supper.